So start sequence underway now. Let's go racing. The FIA Formula 3 European Championship then is away here at the Portimao circuit. And George Russell then.
Looks like Jake Dennis has actually got around the outside of Stroll into turn 1. Got a much better start. Russell is there, but is Stroll going to get back into turn 2?
Well, Stroll is certainly trying to fight Jake Dennis. Jake Dennis made the early move and did make that position count. George Russell now going around the outside of Lance Stroll as well. So not only is Lance Stroll having to attack but defend also.
And also a good start there from Charles Leclerc. Made up a couple of positions as some drivers go flying off the circuit into the tarmac around area.
Raul Hyman is one that didn't get away from the start, we're being informed, as they go through off the back of turn 5 now and head up towards the kink that is turn 6. Mikkel Jensen, another one that didn't get away. It's Mikkel Jensen in car number 27 that did not manage to get away, the K-Styler 24 Muka Motorsport driver. Charles Leclerc, we can see at the head of that pack in car number 7, and then it was Dorian Boccolacci.
Oh, and someone's had a lot of damage there. I believe, is that Gunther?
Well, that is Marcus Pommer. So Pommer is one of those, the motor park driver involved in that. We couldn't quite see who the Muka Motorsport car was there. Be able to ascertain that from the timing screen in a moment as we're watching Santino Ferrucci. So it is Maximilian Gunther who is out.
And that is an unusual situation in that
safety car.
Gunther, who was actually further down the field, Jensen quite a well up the pack. So if they've come together, either one's had a good start, one's had a bad start, and maybe both of them have had
absolutely. So safety car is going to be deployed, and Giovinazzi has managed to get himself into the points P10, and safety car is not going to be able to pick them up because you can see the safety car at the pit lane there.
Yeah, the safety car has completely missed the field, so
it has.
They're going to have to go around the kind of much safety car speeds. I mean, that's an unfortunate situation. The safety car in this situation is there to be as a kind of speed guide, especially if there's a car that's broken on the circuit. I don't know if a safety car is actually broken itself, which would be absolutely novel. Certainly not as broken as Gunther.
Discussion between the two of them there, and doesn't appear to be any animosity at all. Well, hopefully we'll get to see exactly what did happen.
I think they're discussing physics, actually, in that particular, the way they're waving their hands about in such an animated fashion. But going back to the start, that's a key one for Jake Dennis, jumping ahead of Lance Stroll. Yes. He needs as many points as possible. He's quite far behind in the championship.
Yeah. But we said yesterday, Lee, and actually it was you that said it, and I have to concede that you're absolutely right. Some good results from Jake Dennis, and he is going to buy himself into championship potential, isn't he? He sits P4 at the moment. He has got a lot of work to do, and he's got to turn every race into a very good result.
Absolutely, but you know what, Jake Dennis, he's 62 points behind at the moment. He's not going to launch himself to the top of the title standings in one go, but what he can do is pick people off one by one. He's not got much time to do it. Leclerc, good start, went from 11th up to 8th place at the moment, so he would collect 4 points if he were to finish now. And Gustavo Menezes,
he's out.
Is
So we've lost Gustavo Menezes as well.
But as I was coming back to saying, Dennis could go some way to taking chunks out of Leclerc, his gap to Leclerc. He could have third place in the championship very soon. Rosenqvist, he's in the lead. He's gunning for those 25 points for the win. That will extend his gap to Giovinazzi, who at the moment is only 10th.
But of course, Giovinazzi's poor weekend this weekend has played into the hands of Jake Dennis quite a bit, hasn't it? In terms of that, he's maximising his points all because Giovinazzi is not scoring what we would expect Giovinazzi to score ordinarily.
Absolutely, but the other aspect of Giovinazzi's performance is you look at Russell, who's up there in 4th place at the moment, Menezes, who's unfortunately out but started 5th. Giovinazzi really shouldn't be down on the 7th row of the grid.
No.
He had a bad start yesterday. He lined up 5th in the grid for race 2, but was 10th by the end of lap 1. If you're going for a championship, you can't make those mistakes. You need to be consistent. You need to win, but you also need those podiums, those points finishes. You can't sacrifice positions if you're going up against Prema Power Team and Felix Rosenqvist and Jake Dennis.
Here's the replay then of the incident.
So that's Giovinazzi, who squeezes Palmer, and Gunther went into the back of him. Well,
that all started with Giovinazzi.
Yeah, Giovinazzi, who made a good start coming from the 7th row. That was. It's hard to say whether one driver is at fault or not. But you know, Giovinazzi had the inside, but Palmer went to the outside, and Gunther, who had speed, launched over the back of him.
Here's the start once again. So as the cars make their way down to turn 1, Jake Dennis trying to put that move on Lance Stroll, and at that point he had succeeded, and it was there that he had to remain absolutely committed, and he did so. And Lance Stroll did come back, and of course George Russell was in there, P4, was going to have a look as well. But Jake Dennis, that was a good move from him, and bold and ambitious from George Russell to try and have a go as well. Wasn't quite able to make it work.
Motors TV Action, in association with 10 Tenths, the Motorsport Forum.
Presented by Cooper Tires has been unleashed in 2015, debuting the brand new 450 horsepower Mazda-powered Dallara IL15. With fully integrated paddle shift technology and 50 horsepower push-to-pass, the IL15 has been shattering track records across the country.
It's good on street circuits, good on road courses, good on ovals.
For me, it's a great car to learn in.
Very nimble, big improvement from the last car, paddle shift.
It's fast, it's beautiful, it looks great.
It's definitely a proper race car.
With international television coverage, a prize package worth over $1.5 million, a high-profile stage, and a guaranteed 3-race scholarship to the Verizon IndyCar Series, including the Indianapolis 500.
It has all the modern technology you need in a race car. Most importantly, prepares you properly for IndyCar.
Indy Lights is the fastest feeder series in the world, and the best stepping stone to becoming an IndyCar and Indy 500 champion.
V8 Supercars legend Jamie Whincup was back to winning ways in Sydney after a 5-month absence, but he still has an awfully long way to go if he's to catch series leader Mark Winterbottom. Motors TV has live coverage of round 9 of the season from Sandown on Sunday, September 13th at 6 in the morning.
Let's see, what will Jake Dennis do this time? And is he going to, certainly the second safety car incident, Dennis anticipated Felix Rosenqvist's move much better, didn't he?
It's third time of asking, and the restart line is just before the entry to the pit lane, so he's going to be ready, he's going to be waiting, he knows Felix now at this stage. The safety car pulls away as the field about bunch up once again, ready to go.
So we keep our eyes on the Racing Steps Foundation driver that is Jake Dennis. Then he is right on the gearbox of the Felix Rosenqvist car.
But don't count out George Russell though, he's keeping just behind Lance Stroll as the field begins to pull away and Rosenqvist goes for it.
So Felix Rosenqvist then leads the cars away from this safety car restart. P1 is Felix Rosenqvist. He had to do this 2 times of asking yesterday, has to do it again early on in this race for the FIA Formula 3 European Championship as they come across the timing line now. And they head into turn 1, and turn 1 is perhaps the first opportunity as Lance Stroll just took a look at Jake Dennis there, didn't he? George Russell not quite as close behind Lance Stroll as we expected him to be. Charles Leclerc there. Very, very exciting this as we get it underway and get back to real racing.
And a little bit of a touch there between Russell and Stroll as they came out of the turn 1A part of the chicane into turn 2. No real damage. Oh, and a little bit of a wobble there from Antonio Giovinazzi as they come into turn 5 and take the exit. He's right behind Boccolacci in the signature Volkswagen at the moment, who in turn is chasing Leclerc.
So then Felix Rosenqvist, he has the opportunity now to get up the road and not be troubled because he has absolutely nobody ahead of him. Keeping an eye on Antonio Giovinazzi and Dorian Boccolacci then.
And Ryan Vieter is there as well. He had a battle with Cassidy, who's up to 12th, and Ferrucci, who's jumped up to 13th.
See, he was good yesterday, and Ferrucci is on another charge today as we watch Antonio Giovinazzi, the Gonya IM with Carlin driver then, who's P2 in the championship.
and I believe he may have actually got defeater at that stage. That's Callum Eilert, who's further down who's in the bottom end of the top 10.
So just seen on the screen the drive-through penalty for Matt Rao, which to be fair we knew about anyway.
That has to be taken under green. As we said at the start of the race, it has to be taken in the first few laps of the race, as that is a battle of position.
That's the crowd getting past Tatiana Calderon.
Yes. Matt Rao has to take that penalty in the first 3 laps of the race, but it has to be a green lap before he can actually take that penalty. He can't take it under safety car. Calderon battling hard there.
To be fair, Calderon's fighting back, Lee. That's impressive from Tatiana Calderon. Absolutely side by side. This is great to watch.
Absolutely. She's had a difficult season. It's not been a huge amount of fun, I don't think, for Calderon at Carlin. She's not scored any points yet. She had several points finishes this year, and for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened for Tatiana in her, what is her 3rd year now in Formula 3 racing.
Okay, well, Tatiana Calderon does lose out on that place, but she wasn't going to give it up. Neville Jeffrey, we can see in car number 22 as we go back to the front pack now.
I'd say another person who's making a move. We said it only a few moments ago, Ferrucci, 11th place. He's now just behind Giovinazzi, the one-time championship leader, to get into the points. And you know what, Antonio, he's locked behind Boccolacci still, and he's fighting to get further up into the points to rescue this championship battle, but it's not really looking that good for him at the moment. Fittipaldi P6 at the moment. He's got Leclerc just behind him, who's taking Callum Eilert, and Leclerc, he's going to want to force his way past, and that is Boccolacci taking Eilert for P8.
So Eilert going to come back at him. Boccolacci has made it stick, hasn't he? Giovinazzi trying to buy into that as well, and so too, without question, will Santino Ferrucci.
It's been a difficult weekend for Boccolacci, especially in light of the fact he's got a teammate who scored a podium, and then yesterday in race 2 raced from the back of the field to just outside the points.
So Giovinazzi is just
and Giovinazzi he's got Eilert there. He's got Eilert there now. That takes him into 9th place. He's gone in for Boccolacci. Giovinazzi gets a good exit out of the final corner. He's going to the inside of the start-finish straight. He's going for this move. Will it be? It's only 8th place. It'll only be 4 points, but he needs every score he can.
Absolutely.
Now to the outside as they come into turn 1, and then the outside of this line will turn into the inside as they go through to chicane. Boccolacci stays with him, but it's not enough. Giovinazzi gets another position.
Absolutely brilliant work there from Antonio Giovinazzi, who set that up 2 corners ahead, didn't he? And stuck it out around the outside.
And Giovinazzi, he needs to do that. He needs to make those positions. He's got a tougher competition now. He's got Leclerc just ahead. Leclerc has actually pulled a couple of seconds gap because he's fighting with Fittipaldi for 6th place.
Yes, and of course, whilst that was all been going on, that has played into the hands a little bit for Leclerc. So we see Boccolacci then and Nick Cassidy together.
And Dave Cassidy has actually got by Ferrucci there. They're battling over 11th, 12th and 13th at the moment.
And while that Giovinazzi move was going on, to be fair, Cassidy did manage to get past, but now Santino Ferrucci is fighting back. So Santino Ferrucci in the orange car, Nick Cassidy in the red car. So Santino Ferrucci then around the outside.
He's not going to get through there, but he will get past Boccolacci. That's Cassidy going through the inside into the chicane, and you know what? That signature looks like it's got absolutely no pace whatsoever through some of the slower corners. Ferrucci, he's seeing Boccolacci struggle ahead of him. He's seeing the position, it's almost like an open mouth. He's going for it, and he will make an absolute dive eventually. I mean, Ferrucci and someone's off. In the background, can't quite see who it was. That might have been Solomon.
That was right across the grass, wasn't it?
It's a shortcut. It's not the quickest way around. Ferrucci, however, he's going to be lining up Boccolacci, or not Boccolacci, as they come over the start-finish straight.
So as we watch them as they head down towards turn 1, then Santino Ferrucci not close enough to be able to do anything. I don't think he wasn't. He's had to discretion the better part of Valor there. So it's Neville Jeffrey, isn't it, that is being hounded by Motorsport car.
It's Michele Beretta just behind him, and behind Beretta it's McLeod. Behind McLeod is Lorandi and Sims and Solomon, and you know what? That is a very, very tight battle, and it really looks as if Jeffrey, he's struggling at the moment. He had a bit of a contretemps, shall we say, with Lorandi coming down the start-finish straight yesterday, which which gave us a bit of a momentary heart attack, shall we say.
some warnings are coming in now as we watch our race leader, who seemingly we've almost forgotten about because he's 1.2 seconds up the road and he's trouble-free, isn't he? Car number 6, that is Michele Beretta being warned about track limits, and also being warned about track limits is Tatiana Calderon as well. And seen lots of examples as they have excurred over the track white lines. Felix Rosenqvist and Jake Dennis then P1 and P2. Now we watch Jake Dennis, the Racing Steps Foundation driver, who has pulled a little bit back to Felix Rosenqvist, but you know, once again Felix Rosenqvist will just be managing this, won't he?
Absolutely.